Sunday Meditation, April 12, 1981. LL Research, channeling Hatonn. Jim, channeling. I am Hatonn, and I greet you in the love and the light of our infinite Creator. It is with great joy that we bring you our greetings this evening, for always it is an honor and a privilege to be able to share our simple thoughts with your group. Our thoughts, as always, are a humble reflection of the one original thought of the Creator, that thought that binds us all in unity, in love, and in light. It is for the purpose of sharing this one simple thought that we feel the greatest of honors in addressing your group each session where it is possible for us to be with you. This evening, we would speak a few words once again on the subject of love. This subject, which is the focus of most of our communications with you, is yet the subject which is not well understood by many of your people. And indeed, we would say that few really understand the concept of love, though many times have they heard the concept reviewed. It is for this reason that we speak again and again on this simple concept. For simple though it is, yet much seems to stand in the way of the peoples of your planet and their understanding of this simple concept. There exists within the creation of the Father only one force, the force of love, which has created all that exists. The perceptions that your people have of the creation is one which sees many things, is one which looks and sees objects, which looks and sees interaction, which looks and sees ratios, which looks and sees the particles of existence broken down as though they were bricks, built back up as though they were buildings. It is, if you will pardon our expression, somewhat of a mechanical view of creation, a view which does not see far beyond the exterior appearance, a view which sees only that which is apparent with the physical senses. We of Hatonn speak our simple words in order that the view of those who seek to see might be extended beyond the surface, beyond the exterior. For much there is, my friends, that does not meet the physical eye. Much there is that must be seen by other means. With this in mind, we present to you, for your examination, the simple concept that when you view the Father's creation, if you look with your heart, if you look with your inner eye, if you look with your interior perceptions, you might be made aware of a binding force which holds all of creation together, which serves as not only the binder, but also that which is bound, and yet not bound in a way which restricts to sight or vision, but in a way which arranges that which is seen as a pattern of love that the Creator has arranged within all of creation, an infinite variety of patterns of love, that these patterns might be seen in many, many ways. But if, when seen in any way, the realization is also kept in focus that the foundation upon which all is created is love, then that which is seen might be viewed in a clearer perspective. For if there is no binding force apparent to those who view the creation, is not all that is seen somewhat chaotic, somewhat disjointed, without rhyme or reason? For within the creation, there is an ordering, and that ordering of the Father is love. Love which seeks to be known. Love which seeks to know itself. Love which calls. Love which listens. As you perceive that which is round about you, we suggest that you keep within your mind, within your heart, within your being, the consideration of what it is you see. Ask yourself, where is the love? For surely, my friends, it surrounds you always. At this time, we would transfer our contact to another instrument. I am Hatonn. L. Channeling. I am Hatonn, and I greet you, my brothers, in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. We are pleased that you and your friends are seeking the light more readily in these days of approaching turmoil. My friends, it is difficult to perceive the approaching storm, in that the vestiges of the season of tranquility that you are leaving tend to disguise the gradual formation of clouds that herald the thunder to come. Yet, my brothers, be attentive, for the thunder does come, and the peace and tranquility that you are lulled into perceiving will not last. My brothers, you are wise in that you listen when we speak, for there is always wisdom in listening. Yet, my brothers, you would be far wiser still if you chose to act upon the information that you have received. It is not within our grasp or our responsibility to advise each of you personally upon his or her future, for we all know, my brothers, that this is not possible and would violate your blessing of freedom of will. Yet, my brothers, we would encourage all of your race to be more attentive to the signs that surround you. For as the light shines from out of the east and covers all of the land in a gradual transformation of darkness into lightness, so also, my brothers, does the transformation come to your planet. It does and will continue to seem a gradual process that often appears to have ceased. Yet, my brothers, just as the sun, in climbing above the horizon, more and more rapidly erases the shadows, so also will the coming changes occur. It is, therefore, within your grasp to perceive these changes and to prepare yourselves accordingly. The question, then, becomes not whether one should prepare, but rather how one should prepare oneself. It is possible to spend great lengths of your remaining time attempting to consolidate advantage on the physical plane in expectation that by accumulating what will become the riches of tomorrow, one might find a way to purchase one's way through the impending future. My brothers, is this not what most of those beings upon your planetary surface are doing now and have done for thousands of years? Therefore, my brothers, is it not far wiser to ask oneself, how may I prepare for my spiritual survival and advancement in this coming new age? The answer, my brothers, lies in the subject referred to through the aid of the instrument known as Jim, that subject being love. The riches that must be accumulated upon your planet and by its peoples are not those of property or gold or silver, but rather, my brothers, those riches of the soul that can only be received, not taken, and can only be given, not sold. My brothers, be strong in your goodness, and fear not the impending struggle, for it is less wise to ask oneself, will I survive until tomorrow? Than to ask oneself, will I be able to love continuous until tomorrow? At this time, my brothers, we would ask if there are any questions that we may attempt to help you answer for yourselves, for is not that the true path of learning? Therefore, we will dispense with further rhetoric, for we love to answer what we are allowed to. I am Hatonn. C. Yes, I have a question. It concerns my son, A. We've had troubles with A being afraid to be separated from us, but here, in the last few weeks, the fear is becoming more intense, and it seems to have followed of us trying to explain to him, to answer questions he had about death and about our coming to meditation, and I'm afraid that somehow he's gotten the two equated with each other, and I'm thinking he's afraid that we might not return from these meditations. I don't know if this is so, but if it is, how best can we explain to him what it is we're doing? But it's hard sometimes to communicate with a child, especially a very young child. Hatonn. I am Hatonn. I understand your question. My brother, a child is much like a picture that has not been completed. Various forms have been sketched in and will later be endowed with color and substance. The picture is aware of its incompleteness, just as you are aware of your own incompleteness, being a somewhat more colorful picture. That was a pun, haha. My brother, just as you sense directions in which your picture may further be completed, so also does your child. But being more recently returned from what you might call the spiritual aspect, he is less acquainted with the limitations imposed by your current physical plane. It is then understandable that he perceives your absence with the expressed intent of reestablishing your connection with the non-physical plane as a potentially permanent linkage, just as his more recent transition from the spiritual to the physical plane was relatively permanent. Your child loves you greatly and realizes that he must maintain his contact with you upon this plane so as to achieve the situations necessary for his growth. As he is less than familiar with the multitude of rules and regulations governing the behavior of physical objects, such as your body, on this plane, and concerning the necessary attachment of yourself to your body, he is concerned that an inadvertent and permanent separation might ensue. Furthermore, he realizes that your efforts toward growth and maturity are not characteristic of beings on your plane. And is not growth a departure from one locus with the intent of striving toward a non-existent, infinitely distant point? Therefore, my brother, be assured that your child is not the victim of an external, malevolent force, but rather of his own affections for you, as well as his own craving for those situations of the future which will enable him to grow at a considerable rate. May we answer you further, my brother? C. How can I better communicate with my child about what I'm doing and what his mother is doing? Or is it really necessary to communicate with him verbally about it? Hatonn. I am Hatonn. My brother, is experience not the best teacher? Verbal communication is a valuable tool in conveying abstract explanation and should be employed in conjunction with your other, more expressive forms of communication, such as touching, holding, and reassuring the young child of his value in your life. In addition, my brother, that what you would be well to consider would be the introduction of your child to the performance of brief meditation. It is not necessary, nor is it advisable to make these introductory meditations of extensive time, or of the purpose to convey messages. Rather, my brother, we would suggest that occasionally you or your wife might stop, explain to your child that the present moment is an excellent opportunity for meditation, and yourself or your wife briefly meditate while encouraging your child to join and share with you for a moment or two. May we answer you further, my brother? C. No, you've helped greatly. Thank you. Hatonn. We thank you, my brother, for the opportunity of service. May we answer another question? E. I have a question, Hatonn, and that is, in the Bible there are many references to the kingdom of God, or the kingdom of heaven, and I've been mulling over in my own mind what is meant by these phrases, which seem to be used interchangeably. Could you tell me what is meant by the phrase, kingdom of heaven? Hatonn. I am Hatonn. Mull no longer, my friend. The kingdom of heaven is that place one reaches when one understands and shares the existence of oneness in this universe and all universes. Just as in a well-exercised and cared-for body on your plane, all cells work joyfully and share one set of vibrations, so also could be represented the kingdom of heaven. Does this answer your question, my brother? E. Yes, that's what I expected. And may I ask further, does that then mean that entities such as you are part of the kingdom of heaven? Hatonn. I am Hatonn. My brother, the answer to your question could be expressed as both yes and no. Yes, in that whether one realizes his perfection or not, he is still a part of the kingdom of heaven. Yet, that heaviness which is within has not been allowed outward and encompasses the individual's life. Regretfully, my brother, we of Hatonn have not yet attained that form of perfection which is responsible for the negative answer of the doubly answered question. May we answer you further, my brother? E. Yes, that makes me wonder how you have fallen short of attaining that kingdom. Hatonn. I am Hatonn. My brother, if we knew that answer, if we only knew. May we be of further service to you? E. At some later time, I'm sure you will be. Hatonn. Thank you, my brother. E. Thank you. Hatonn. May we answer another question? C. Yes, I know an individual who, one that I've spoken to before about things we have learned about meditation, and this individual, when they're alone, feels a contact. Had expressed to us he feels a contact, and the contact he feels, I get a very bad feeling about that he is being played with by influences other than the Confederation. Is this so? Hatonn. I am Hatonn. My brother, we of Hatonn are not allowed to inform members of your race of the predilections of specific other members, or of those from whom they seek learning. However, my brother, we would offer the advice that was carefully selected for your planet in reference to questions such as the one you have posed. By their fruits ye shall know them. May we answer you further, my brother? C. No, not at this time, thank you. Hatonn. We thank you. May we answer another question? E. I have one more concerning the Bible, and that is the fairly frequent references to angels. And my question is, what are angels? Hatonn. I am Hatonn. My brother, you seek definitions which are functional to a mind which dwells in three-dimensional logic. To convey a three-dimensionally logical answer, we would respond that an angel is one who acts as the servant or messenger from God. Obviously, my brother, you are capable of perceiving the truth that extends beyond three-dimensional logic, and this answer is not sufficient. Therefore, my brother, we would answer for you that an angel is one who acts in accordance with the flow of universal energy, for does not. Side 1 of the tape recording this session ends here. We pick up on side 2 with L channeling Hatonn, who has finished answering the question. May we answer you further, my brother? E. Yes, I'd like to know then, well, as my understanding of it is that angels must be very close to God, as we call it, and I would like to know if that's true. Hatonn. My brother, God or Godness is everywhere. What is more close than that? The angels to whom you refer were servants who performed specific tasks, not always realizing the service to which they were put, just as you yourself do not always realize the services you perform in other persons' lives simply by existing. For example, my brother, had you not encountered your recent accident and injury, the individual whose vehicle impacted your own might have more recently suffered a fatal accident through inattention to his driving performance. Obviously, you were not a winged creature, although you did fly, yet you acted inadvertently in accordance with the will of the universe. The fact that you yourself were also in training, so to speak, does not alter your service, a service that you in your past contracted to perform. Therefore, my brother, to reiterate, an angel is one who often unknowingly acts in such a manner as to be in attunement with the will of the universe. May we answer you further, my brother? E. I'll think on what you've said for now. Thank you. Hatonn. We thank you, my brother. May we answer further questions? I am Hatonn. We thank you for the opportunity to speak at such great lengths and upon so many interesting subjects. We of Hatonn do not always find interesting those subjects which are selected for discussion, and that many are concerned with mechanical events and aspects of your three-dimensional illusion. We of Hatonn find more challenging and interesting the discussions of those subjects which are non-elusive, for these subjects are areas of our own enlightenment or lack thereof. For this reason, my brothers, we are always grateful to you for your receptive questions. For is it not the student who asks questions the real teacher of the class? Certainly, the instructor learns rapidly when faced with a question which had not previously occurred to that instructor. Therefore, my brothers, we of Hatonn thank you both for the opportunity of being of service to yourselves and for your service in providing the stimuli for our further education. At this time, we would bid you adieu. I am Hatonn.
Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator.